Welcome to Synchronize Swatches, your twice-monthly dose of coolness. I'm your host, Chris Gregory.
And I'm the other guy, Chip Johnson.
Every other week, we watch an episode of the cult classic 1990s sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and then we record ourselves talking about it.
It's time for Operation Record the Podcast. Are you ready, sir?
That's all I got.
It's another one of those that, like, if they're listening to the audio only, they're going to be like, what the hell is he doing?
You're right.
Gentlemen, synchronize swatches. Not a problem.
I've never liked you, Lewis.
Not a problem.
Eat now?
Clean out your locker, you're finished.
Did you realize, I didn't realize this until like last week, we kind of like coasted right past the midpoint in all these shows, like all these episodes. Like we're over the top of the hill and we're on our way down now, you know? Because we're
halfway through season 2.
Right.
But season 3 is what, shorter maybe?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay,
like
so that means,
shorter.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so we've crossed the apex. Now we're like,
it's all downhill from here.
yeah, exactly, I guess. But, yeah.
No, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I guess season 12. Actually, yeah, I don't know how many episodes are in season 2, but
yeah. I think it's like 25 or something, or 26.
Okay, so this is
amounts.
episode 13 of season 2, so we're halfway through season 2. But yeah, being that season 3 is truncated, that is true. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's weird because like we're doing a show that was only on for 3 seasons, so it's not like, you know, I mean, we reached the midpoint a little quicker than you might expect for something where, you know, people are watching like 12 seasons of The Simpsons or something, or watching, you know, X-Files that had 10 seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like we're talking 73 episodes. So, you know, we got to the midpoint a little quicker, but, you know, it was kind of jarring to see that. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Already halfway done with this shit.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. It does, because it feels like we just started it.
Yeah, I know. And it's weird too, because, you know, we are on the downward slope of season 2 now, and once we get to season 3, it's going to be a different kind of show. So like the show that we're used to watching here and talking about is you know, slowly dwindling away here, you know, episode wise, you know. And I know we've said it before, maybe we'll be surprised by some, you know, some hidden gems in season 3, or some, maybe even having watched the first 2 seasons, we'll see things that, you know, that are near and dear to us watching season 3, because there's a lot of the same people still involved, you know.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah.
just with a different feel to it. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it either way, you know, whatever. You know,
yeah, definitely.
I don't want to sit here and dread about season 3, for God's sake.
I'm looking forward to it for the simple fact that I remember season 1 and season 2 well, from watching it over and over, like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch much of season 3. Like, if it was in syndication, it wasn't in syndication as long as the other 2 seasons. And I had the DVD box, or the DVD set of season 1, so I'm really familiar with season 1. So, like, I'm looking forward to season 3 just because I just don't know it that well. Like, you know, it's not like ingrained in my head. So it's almost like some of these episodes are going to be brand new, I think.
Yeah.
So for that simple fact.
Yeah.
Can you hear that car alarm?
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't notice it until you said
That's
something.
fucking
about
annoying.
It.
It's like right outside my house here.
Sorry. Hey, man, this is life, man.
You know, the thing about car alarms, they don't do the job they're supposed to do. Like, nobody ever thinks, I mean, I'm not like, oh, I need to go see if somebody's stealing that fucking car right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're just annoying as fuck. And
it's just a matter of how you define their job. You know, the job is to deter, I think. You know, it's like the alarms at the store when you go there and you walk through, you know, like, I did a very short stint in like loss prevention at a box store or whatever.
Oh, right.
And I remember them basically saying those things are just there to deter.
Yes.
I don't even stop when I walk through them now if I set the alarm off. I just keep going, and like if somebody wants to come up and stop me, I'm not going to run from them or anything.
Right? Yeah.
If somebody comes up and asks, I will stop and talk to them. But otherwise, you end up just stopping in the middle of traffic and people slam into you and stuff. It's not even worth it,
I know.
So
yeah, but with like car alarms, especially at this point in the game, it's like I don't even know if it's a deterrent anymore because it's like I feel like a car thief's going to be like nobody's going to fucking pay attention to this shit.
Yeah,
I don't think it even does that job anymore.
Yeah. They need to get them. They need to like program them to just scream fire or something. Like instead of the alarm, it's just somebody screaming fire. You imagine that if you're like walking down the street and a car just starts going fire.
Oh God, that's funny.
Just these panicking cars. Fire.
We found a way to revitalize the car alarm industry.
Yeah. Until you get to the point where people start ignoring that, and then the entire world's burning down around you because there's actual people in the street like, there's a fire over here.
Like, it's just a car alarm going off.
It's a fucking car alarm. It's just 32 distinct car alarms going off. Yeah. What's that smell? I don't know. It might be a forest fire or something.
Imminent danger, sirs.
So we're talking about Parker Lewis Can't Lose, Season 2, Episode 13, Raging Kube, which of course is a reference to Raging Bull. And the German title, Paul, if you will.
Der sanfte Riese.
Wow. Which means gentle giant. And we got a little note from Paul here. It's like quite the diversion from the English title.
Yeah.
That is. But, once you see the episode, you'll know why they call it the gentle giant.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the Gentle Giant is probably a better title than Raging Kube because, like they have one black and white shot of him like in the ring, like like Raging Bull, but that's it. Like it's like a quick shot.
Yeah.
But the rest of the episode's kind of like a fairy tale, so the German title actually kind of fits better. Yeah.
Yeah. More about him trying to be gentle, I guess. But
yeah. Original air date Sunday, November 24th, 1991. This is the same day that Freddie Mercury died.
That's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
It's one of those strange ones where like it's strange because it was a long time ago that he passed away, but it's also interesting that he was alive for so much of our lives,
I was thinking about that because like I guess I didn't realize that he lived into the 90s. I mean, it's only a year or two into the 90s, but I didn't realize he'd lived that long. I thought it was sometime in the mid 80s for some reason.
Yeah, I just remember that specifically because my mom was a big Queen fan. So when he died, it was kind of it was noteworthy at least.
Yeah, of course. So this episode's written by Alan Cross and Tom Spezialy. Fifth episode writing, for Cross, and fourth episode for Spezialy. This directed by our old friend Brian Spicer. Man, he's got so many so many of these episodes under his belt.
Yeah.
All right. My episode synopsis. In this fairy tale framed episode of Parker Lewis Can't Lose, Larry Kubiac's position as Santo Domingo's toughest mother-fer is threatened when his girlfriend Eileen gives him an ultimatum. Either he gives up the violence or they can't be together. For the sake of love, Kubiac surrenders his title as Santo Domingo's most powerful flamingo. Everything is coming up roses until Don Yemano, seeing a void in the power dynamic, makes his move and begins to rule the school with an iron fist. Well written. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I like that. Santo Domingo's most powerful flamingo.
So for our opening gag, we have some fairy tale music playing as we see Miss Musso opening a leather-bound copy of Cinderella. Inside, she finds, much to her amazement and delight, a glass slipper.
Miss Musso in those shoes. She loves some shoes.
Yes, she does. And as she gives it a lemur-esque caress, we fade to black and get our first credit.
Yep.
So
We don't get any limmer in this episode.
We don't get any.
Sucks,
I know.
Man.
You know, it was sorely lacking in this episode. Like, they should have tried to found a way. I mean, who knows? Maybe he wasn't available for the shoot, but it would have been nice to see limmer in this world. Next up is Kubiac. He cracks open a copy of Jack and the Beanstalk. Inside, he finds a golden egg, of which he proceeds to take a huge bite.
Looks good.
Yeah. But it's like, I guess, it kind of looks like a giant chocolate egg maybe that's wrapped in gold foil, but like he bites into it foil and all.
Yeah. It almost looked like a baked potato or something, you know? Like, you would get it fucking Sizzler or something.
Oh, shit. yeah, exactly. So next up is Mikey, who's settling in with a copy of Sleeping Beauty. As he opens it, he's assaulted by very loud snoring. He slams the book shut, horrified. I kind of half expected, I mean, just with the Mikey gags, I half expected that he opens a book and pulls a girl out of the book.
Just extracts somebody. That would have been pretty funny. They're like, let's give Mikey's libido a break this week.
So finally we find Jerry reading The Little Mermaid, only to be squirted in the face by a forceful stream of water. So that was our opening gag. Definitely didn't have the kind of like open shut, gag where it cuts us to black. It just faded to black for the credits.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of motif, this particular episode. So.
Yeah. So we open on a private library, like an old school looking, home library from somebody, as chamber music plays, a la Masterpiece Theater. I don't think it was the actual Masterpiece Theater theme.
I don't think so. I don't really remember that, but
I'm not sure if it's the exact Masterpiece Theater theme that was playing or just kind of some chamber music, classical music that sounds kind of like it to give you that vibe. But that's the vibe they were going for, Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah.
So we track through some framed photos of the various characters of the show, and we come to find Parker Lewis with a large leather-bound book entitled Flamingo Tales.
Yeah, I just like how they track through all those headshots.
Yes.
And that's all the
great.
actors' headshots. It's funny.
So Parker says, once upon a time, there was a gentle giant who ruled the peaceful kingdom of Santo Domingo. We get a shot inside the book, and we see a fairy tale illustration of Kubiac smelling some wildflowers. In the distance, we see a castle.
Hey, I made a note here that it took us exactly 1.5 seasons of this show to get to like a gimmick episode like this. Like,
yes,
the entire show lives in its own reality anyway.
Yes.
So the whole thing is just this weird, elastic reality. But it was interesting that this is the first one that's distinctly like a gimmick episode, like the fairy tale episode.
Fairy tale episode, exactly.
Yeah.
V.O. Parker tells us he was a kind and fair ruler whose loyal subjects hung on his every word. As we cross-dissolve the fairy tale Kube with the real-world Kube in bathroom 12. It turns out the flowers he was smelling was actually a half-eaten salami.
Yep.
That's great. So Kubiac says, I suppose you're wondering why I've hung you all here today. As we see the buds dangling from a large circular pot rack.
I'm not sure if he does it in this line, but like throughout the rest of this episode, it seems like we've moved into Kube speaking of himself in the third person almost entirely. Like, I know that the couple third season episodes I've seen, he does it a lot.
Kube do this, Kube do that. Yeah,
he does it a lot in this episode.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's done it before, but like I feel like they start to lean into it more and more in like this episode, and then obviously in the third season. But yeah, we see the buds; they're all dangling from like one of those big kitchen racks that you hang pots from.
Yeah.
So it's great because all three of them are just hanging by their shirt collar or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jerry's afraid that Kubiac is going to eat them. But it turns out Larry just wants their opinions on a love poem he wrote for his girlfriend Eileen. It goes a little something like this.
Cheetos, fish sticks, sandwiches, submarine, Eileen.
I love that. Sandwiches, submarine.
Yeah, sandwiches, submarine. Yeah.
Beautiful poetry there, Kube.
Yeah.
The buds all show their approval via scorecards. Kube gets 10s across the board. Although Jerry, when he first holds his scorecard up, I think it says like 2.3 or something, and he realizes and he flips it over.
Decimal in it. Where's my card that says 10 and 2.3 on it?
On the other side.
So weird.
So we cut to the diner, where Kube recites the rest of the poem for his amour. Fajitas, burritos, potato cuisine, Eileen.
Potato cuisine.
Yeah, potato cuisine. Eileen is flattered, and the two embrace heartily. So heartily, in fact, that it causes an earthquake that apparently breaks Miss Musso's door glass.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a note here that you already mentioned it, but that Eileen is back.
Yes.
What was she? Which episode was she in? I don't recall off the top of my head.
That was the prom king one, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, King Kube, maybe.
King Kube. It was King Kube. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we got the return of Eileen, and we've got the return of Kube, the poet.
Yes.
I mean, not exactly the same level of poetry as he was working on in Teacher, but
right.
He's trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we see Miss Musso's door glass break, or we actually don't see it break. This is a weird one, right? Because Eileen and Kube like just hug each other, and like it causes like an earthquake, and I think we see the buds shaking on their pot rack. They're still hung up there.
Exactly.
He just left them hanging there for some reason while he went to the diner. But the whole earth is shaking, and we hear the door shatter, but we don't see it. We just hear it shatter. I think when we see the buds shaking, and then we cut to somebody lifting a new pane of Miss Musso glass into the door, and somebody sweeping. So it's an interesting transition they did there, where you actually don't see the glass break. Maybe they didn't have the budget in it for this episode. They're like, we got to break the glass, we can't show it breaking.
Yeah, no breaking glass this week, and no limmer. We can't afford it.
Exactly. So anyway, speaking of Miss Musso, she's on the phone with Omar's Mercedes shack. She's looking to buy a gently used Mercedes.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when she was on the phone with Omar, because you can understand everything he's saying. It's like the first time in the entire series so far where you could understand what the other person on the phone was saying.
Yes, but he's definitely got like a cartoony voice. Like it's definitely played up, but it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a great point. You can actually understand people on the phone. So out on the quad, we find Eileen and Kube taking a stroll. Eileen clutches a stuffed orca, and Kube wears a Save the Whales t-shirt. I didn't have a note here, but I think she pulls, I think it's like the orca, like the stuffed animal, like you can pull a string and it says something. Yeah. And I want to say it says something like, "Hi, I'm Harry the Humpback," or something. I'm like, it's not a humpback, it's an orca.
You don't get to define who it is, Chip. That orca can be whatever it wants.
So after some exposition about how Eileen admires the peaceful sea mammals, she breaks the news that the two of them could never work unless he promises never to fight again. That Kube, she's talking to Kube here, not Harry, the orca.
The orca. We can't be together, orca.
I didn't clarify on that.
You're always fighting and you think you're a humpback.
So Kube is a little conflicted at first, but he finally agrees.
Yeah, I think you might have left out the part here where she said she would make it worth his while. And then when I think it might even be before he agrees, she's all like, Boston cream pie.
Yes.
I was just like, oh no. It's just, I don't know. It's just strange. Context is strange these days.
Yeah.
Eileen. Yikes.
Oh, man. So suddenly, ominous music swells, and we find ourselves in a dark room. A Terminator-esque body crouches in the lone spotlight. V.O. Parker says, but little did he know, a great evil lurked in the shadows. As we rotate around this killing machine, we hear mechanical noises as it stands up. Suddenly, two parts of a mold slam into place from the sides. Some dials spin, welding sparks fly, and when the mold retracts, we see Donald the Don Yemano in all his mock mafia glory. As he lifts two fingers to his temples in a Brando salute, his glowing red eyes pop open.
That's a great description of it. I love that he's just like, the whole time, it's just just keeps going like.
Yeah.
It's funny we got another Terminator reference here too, because it wasn't that long ago that Kube was the Terminator, but it makes sense. It's late 1991 after all. But,
yeah, exactly. The Terminator references are all over the place.
Yeah,
in the show.
And Don Yemano seems a lot more threatening in this episode than he did in the last one he appeared in.
100%. Yeah.
He was just a guy in the school in the last one, and this one he's just like this scene kind of sets the tone. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. He is the villain for this episode, yeah.
Yeah.
He's power hungry. Yep. So we cut to the hallway. Don Yemano and his goons approach Kube and Eileen as they hang a banner. Kube greets them with a peace to you, my friends. And I think he holds out a peace symbol.
Yeah.
Yamano's response is, you disgust me, Kubiac. He tells Larry he's washed up and he's going to prove it. Yemano challenges Kube to a fight. Kube, of course, declines, says he only fights whaling, toxic pollution, and the proliferation of classic rock stations. Which at the time period, there was a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think he really got anywhere with that, though. Although music from that time is on classic rock stations now. So.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yep.
Now I'm depressed. So anyways, Yemano insults him to no avail. Then he decides to do the unthinkable. He drop kicks Larry's lunch into a trash can.
Yeah, we get the old Spicer cam for that one.
Yes, we do.
It's
a great
flying through the crowd. And lands in the
people are
cans.
ducking and shit, moving out of the way of it.
That's funny.
This gets Kubiac's goat, of course. Kubiac roars and clears the entire crowd, except for Yemano. He's unfazed. He tells Kubiac they're fighting on noon at Friday. It's the fight to find out who the mightiest Flamingo is. Kube accepts. As Yemano exits, Eileen tells Kube she's disappointed and she leaves crying. The buds burst from a nearby locker to comfort Kube as we dissolve to commercial.
I know a commercial break is a long time, but you've got to try and remember.
Back from commercial, we find Kubiac crying a river in bathroom 12.
He really is. It's just pouring out of his face.
And as the buds come in too, they're like you can hear them like sloshing through water.
Yeah, it's so gross.
I know. His tears.
I like that bathroom 12 is now adorned with photos of Eileen and photos of snacks
and food. Yeah,
yeah. And the pictures of her are funny too. She's got like the real distant look, like kind of a goofy look off in the distance.
Yeah, it's great. Funny. It is great. Yeah, and on the back of the door when the buds come in, you see like it's like a pinup of a Twinkie.
Yeah, in all its glory.
The wrapper being peeled back.
Yeah. A little of the cream dropping off the bottom. Gross. Edit that out.
So anyways, the buds arrive and ask him why he doesn't just call off the fight. He tells them that he can't. It would make him look like a weenie. But in a bad way.
In a bad way, right?
I like how he pauses what he says is, it would make me look like a weenie. And then he kind of looks off to, but in a bad way.
Yeah. And then he goes back to crying.
Yeah. I think he's like crying on Parker's shoulder, and it's like they get a shot of like Jerry holding a bucket under Parker, and it's like just pouring down Parker's arm.
Yeah.
Just a flood of tears. But Parker comes up with a plan. And I made a note here. This is where they would synchronize swatches if they did that anymore, which it seems they don't. Like, they haven't been doing that.
I didn't notice that until you said it.
Exactly. Until this episode, I'm like, oh, they haven't been synchronizing swatches every time they come up with a plan. I'm like, what happened, man?
What, are we going to have to change the name of our stupid show?
I know. Shit. I mean, because that is such a distinct Parker Lewis thing, but for like to have already fallen off, like for it to take a few episodes to become established, and then for it to have already fallen off now, episodes ago, because I just now realized, I'm like, oh shit, they haven't been doing that. Anyways, the buds decide to cut a deal with the Don. They offer him a Supercuts hair counseling coupon. So it's not a coupon for like a Supercuts cut. It's like a coupon to get counseling on your hair.
Right. Yeah. It's like one of the ones that comes in those coupon books you get in the mail or whatever. You used to get in the mail,
Yeah. They also offer him the complete Steven Seagal film library, and a Debbie Gibson CD, and Parker puts it, it's the oily skin years.
Don't know what that
Just
means.
a weird way to put it.
Yeah.
The oily skin years. I guess when she was a teen, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar enough with the whole Debbie Gibson thing.
Yeah.
To know if there were different eras.
Yeah, I don't know. But Yemano isn't biting. He confesses that as a sophomore, he can't get the respect that he so desperately craves. It's only by crushing Kubiac that he can get it.
I didn't really think after the last episode that Don Yemano could like dial it up anymore, because he was like way over the top in his first appearance, but like he definitely does. He goes well beyond in this episode. He is way over the top in a good way,
Yeah, totally.
Not in
Definitely
a bad
playing
way.
up the playing up the Godfather stuff.
Yeah.
After a little bud conference, they decide to draft up a contract that would give Yemano the respect he wants without Kube having to fight. The legal agreement would secure Donald as the mightiest Flamingo. As the entire student body stands witness, Yemano and Kubiac sign the contract.
Yeah, it takes Kube a while because he, of course, can't remember how to spell his own name.
Yeah, it's a good little bit there, too, yeah.
I think he says like K, and then he's like O,
Yeah.
or A, and then he says 3.
3?
and then he
just signs an X.
Signs an X. It's like,
So after signing his mark, Kubiac sadly walks through an equally saddened crowd. A little Western kid runs up pleading, "Kube, come back, Kube!" And this is a reference to an old 50s Western called Shane,
yeah,
which
I'm
I've
glad
never
you
actually
mentioned that.
seen, but I think
Me
I've
neither,
seen the references.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because I just wrote, I love that Dennis the Menace kid, but he ain't Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I think it's it's just that whole like shtick of like the gunslinger like laying down his guns and leaving the town or whatever, leaving the town to fend for itself, but eventually
leaving
he
the
comes
kid,
back.
leaving the kid to fend for himself. Pick up my 6-shooter, kid. Okay, Shane.
It's your job now.
Well, he's dead, Shane. Good job.
It's the 5th kid you killed this month.
Yeah. Guns don't kill kids. Kill. Oh, never mind.
Shane kills kids.
Yeah. Through his negligence.
Yeah. So anyways, Kubiac ignores the kid and walks through the crowd, and Eileen is at the end of the crowd there waiting to embrace him. As they kiss, we cross-dissolve to a close-up of Miss Musso's lips as she applies lipstick. We hear Omar, the salesman, on the phone saying, "Blah, blah, blah, no can do, Grace." And back to your note about the actually being able to understand the conversation on the phone. This is a part where he's like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah. No can do, Grace." He literally says blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. They couldn't decide which way to go with it, so they're just like, fuck it, just say blah.
So Grace throws her lipstick down and demands to know why she can't get the Mercedes in Flamingo pink. Omar just tells her, no way. She then lifts up some nail polish and asks, what about sparkling Bordeaux? Omar shoots this down too. Grace picks up another cosmetic, Bora Bora Blue. Ridiculous, Omar shouts. So Miss Musso picks up a bottle of perfume and asks, Yucatan Yellow? And I'm like, what perfume is Yucatan Yellow? It's kind of weird.
It's a piss perfume.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks
piss
it looked pretty
perfume.
bad. Anyway, so cosmetic.
Don't go anywhere asking for Yucatan
Yucatan
Yellow, 'cause you don't
yeah.
know what the fuck you're gonna get.
So cosmetic after cosmetic, she goes through a list of wild colors, and Omar shoots them all down. Finally, she lifts up her stocking-clad foot, cuts off the end with a pair of scissors to reveal her painted toenails. Raucous red? She asks. And Omar screams, no, no! So we cut to a time-lapse of a sky and a wilting flower. And V.O. Parker tells us that as the days passed, they started to see the consequences of the Giants' retirement. We cut to Jerry and Mikey carrying an assload of books through the hall.
Yeah, I made a note. Now that's a trapper keeper, because he has
Yes.
a trapper keeper with him, and it is stuffed.
Yes, yeah. Mikey's got a trapper keeper and then a bunch of books stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
I think Jerry's got a bunch of books, and he's got a bunch of he's got a radio, some radio equipment,
Yeah.
But anyways, Parker pops in and asks what's going on, and Mikey tells him that it's locker evictions. They couldn't pay the rent. So it turns out that Don has started charging rent for lockers.
Yeah.
Jerry adds that there's also a good grade tax, which is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Get taxed to make good grades if you make good grades. So, Jerry's feeling the pinch. And I think he has some exchange, like, well, Parker's like, oh, that must hurt. And I think Jerry says something like, you have no idea. Oh, that's not a slight to you, sir.
Just calling it how it is.
Yeah. So we find Kubiac witnessing the havoc that the new regime is wreaking on the school. He's not pleased and decides to retreat to his home away from home, bathroom 12, only to find that Yemano has commandeered it for himself.
Yeah, I like that he's just tossing Kubiac's shit in the trash.
Yes.
And on the top of the trash is one of those crumpled up photos that I was talking about of Eileen looking all silly. Just on top of the trash. I'm like, aw.
Oh, man.
Bastard.
Yamano's he's a real dick in this one. We'll see coming up too, even more. When Kubiac demands his layer back, Yemano tells him the only way to get it back is to fight him. My note here was, why is Yemano still stuck on fighting him at this point? Because he's gotten what he wants, right? So that's kind of weird.
I don't know, man.
But he's.
I don't know why he thought he wanted to fight Kubiac in the first place, unless he just knows Kubiac's secret that we find out later.
Yeah. But it seems like a dumb move, on Yamano's part. But anyways, even though he's got what he wants, he's the king of the school, he still wants to fight. As Yemano declares this, the entire student body starts chanting, "Fight, fight, fight!" It's like that's so typical high school, man. Like anybody just mentions a fight, the whole fucking crowd is already chanting, "Fight, fight, fight!" Like
nobody ever tries to stop it, man. No one ever tries to stop it. Everybody comes around just chanting "fight." It's hilarious.
Like fucking Romans in the Colosseum, man.
Yeah, bunch of goddamn monkeys, man. Just throwing shit at each other.
So Kube is feeling the pressure, but Eileen steps in, still clutching her stuffed orca, and declares that violence is not the answer. She says the gentle giants of the sea live in peace, so why can't we all? At this point, Don Yemano goes full Molaram Kalima on the stuffed whale and rips its heart out.
It's so savage. I was just like, poor Eileen and poor Eileen's whale.
I know.
She's just trying to be peaceful, and he just rips that fucking thing right out of there. Savage.
Oh, God. So, of course, Eileen is horrified, and Kube tells her, come on, we're bigger than this. As they start to walk away, Yemano retorts, what is she not bigger than?
Oh,
ooh,
man.
And so this stops Larry in his tracks as the whole crowd goes, ooh.
Being helpful again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Twisting the knife further, Yemano continues, hey, Kube, you trying to save the whales or date them?
Damn.
Oh, Yemano. Jesus, dude. Low blows. Kubiac is steaming now, and he decides to fight Yemano. Not just for Eileen, but for all of Santo Domingo. It's his responsibility, he says. He never should have given Yemano the power.
Yeah, there's some top-tier scowling going on in this scene, too, and they go nose to nose or whatever.
Yes.
You've just got, like, Kube and Yemano just, the fucking scowling is aces.
Yes, it is. Totally. So we cut to Parker's bedroom. Parker is now in a new pajama ensemble. The leopard print top from 2 episodes ago is back, but the pajama bottoms are now red chili peppers instead of bananas.
So weird. So strange.
As he climbs into bed, he says in VO, and lo, the giant's call to battle was born anew. A challenge that was to bring forth a profound secret. As he rolls over in bed, he finds himself snuggling up next to Larry.
That's a great
Which
shot.
freaks him out a little bit.
Yeah.
When Parker asks what he's doing there, Kubiac tells him he's scared.
I promise you won't laugh. I've never been in a fight. I don't even know how.
Wait a minute, Kube. You've been the strongest Flamingo as long as I can remember. How can you not know how to fight?
Easy. Whenever someone wanted to fight me, I'd just... That's all I know how to do. But Kube roar doesn't scare Yemano. Nothing scares Yemano. He's gonna tear me apart like a buttery fresh croissant. But in a bad way.
Yeah, and I also made a note here because I was wondering, like, his whole tactic is to use the Kube roar to scare people off.
Yes.
And I was thinking, what in the hell was he planning to do with Luke McDonald in Teacher? Because they're just howling at each other, and then they charge each other, but they stop before they actually start fighting. I was like, I wonder... I mean, obviously, it's just, retcon or whatever, but I was like, I wonder what Kube was planning to do in that situation. If he was just going to scream in his face and hope that he ran off or something.
Yeah.
It was weird. Continuity error, people.
Yeah. All right, so back from commercial, we find Kubiac on the roof of the school. The buds finally locate him. Kube tells him that he wants to be left alone, but Jerry says, "Sir, I brought you the Musso excuse file, filled with enough excuses to keep you legally at home until Mr. Yemano is on Medicare." I like that line. Kube shakes his head and says, "No excuses." Mikey chimes in and says, "Then just do what I do. Turn around, grab your guitar, and walk away." Kube responds that he doesn't own a guitar, which throws Mikey for a loop, which I love. Mikey's just totally like, well, I'm out of ideas.
Yeah. I made a note there. My note was, Mikey has one idea and it sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
That idea sucked.
Oh, Mikey.
I mean, you're right. It's funny how he's just like, I'm out of ideas.
He just like throws his hands up. Oh, God. So Kube tells the buds he appreciates what they're trying to do, but he has no choice. He's got to fight. And we cut to Miss Musso's office, and we see Grace sitting at her desk, an accountant's visor on her brow, and an adding machine at her fingertips. In the background is a pie chart of her expenses. Shoes and previously owned car take up the majority of the expenses, while the other portions are comprised of food, housing, manicures, window glass, and Chippendales membership.
Of course.
Of course. This is my favorite gag of the episode, this pie chart.
Definitely.
And I have to say, I'm actually quite surprised that window glass isn't a bigger chunk of the expenses there. It's equal to food.
Just tells you how much she spends on everything else.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we know she spends a lot on window glass because we see it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was funny.
Oh, God. So she spent a hell of a lot on shoes.
Damn. We knew about the Chippendales membership, of course.
Yes. So she's on the phone, and she's still negotiating with Omar for that Mercedes. She tells him he's a hard man. She then asks him... She then asks if he's a hard single man. And my note was, there it is, first appearance of Horny Grace in this episode.
Yeah, I literally wrote down, Horny Musso is back. She can't have a conversation with anybody that doesn't end with her saying something like that. Like, are you a hard single man? Jesus.
Oh, God bless Grace.
Yeah. I like that he goes with it, though.
Yes, because Omar responds, "Why not find out, Grace?"
And then this was great.
So Musso then asks, "Hey, can you palm a basketball?" Lady likes her big hands.
Yeah. That's like, I love that that's her criteria is basically like, can you palm a basketball?
It's a date. So we cut to bathroom 12, the next generation, as the sign tacked to the door tells us. Eileen enters to find Kubiac in a supply closet that now serves as his new lair. Apparently, Parker told Eileen Kube's big secret, and then Kube asks if she still loves him. She says yes, even more than before.
There's some part in this scene where I believe she says Santo Domingo, but I made a note because the way she pronounces it is very funny. It's very sing-songy and like...
Yes.
She's just like, Santo Domingo or something like that.
It's exactly
really
right.
Goofy.
So at this point, we cut to the parking lot, and Miss Musso sits in a gently used white Mercedes convertible. Omar, unseen and off-screen, asks Miss Musso how she likes the car. She gushes about the car and the customer service. She then asks Omar, "Show me again." And a large hand enters frame holding a basketball.
Yeah.
And Musso melts.
Yeah. I love that they didn't even have to cast a salesman. They're just somebody with hands.
Somebody with a big ass hand that can palm a basketball. That's all you see of Omar.
Yeah, and her giddy reaction to his hand when he sticks his hand. Does he has the basketball, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got the basketball.
Yeah.
And she's all, it's really fucking funny, man. It's a great performance.
I was originally going to say a large hand enters frame holding a basketball and Musso creams herself, but
she Boston creams
that's why
herself.
I said melts, but I probably should have gone with my original note.
Yeah. It's basically what we just witnessed.
She Boston creams herself. Oh, God.
Yep.
So anyways, cut to the hallway. Eileen embraces Kubiac. Kubiac is still conflicted about fighting, however, and Parker then asks him, Kube, what if I told you there was a way you could save face and the school? Interested? Kubiac nods squeakily.
Yep.
We cut to a clock outside on campus. The hour is nigh, literally. They replaced noon with nigh.
Yeah, that's great, too.
We crane down from the clock to find Kubiac making his way through the crowd. The little Western kid runs up excited. Kube, you're back! You're back, Kube, you're back! Larry pats the kid on the head and makes his way to the middle of the crowd to face Yemano. The two superpowers circle each other. Then it's established that the loser buys lunch. Yemano agrees to this and then struts over to a nearby tree and punches it. The tree splits in half from the force. It's a hell of a punch.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The crowd gasps and Kube gulps.
Yeah, rightly so.
He visibly gulps at the sight of this. After he regains his composure, Kube walks over to a nearby bus and prepares to punch it. The crowd waits in silence, and we get that recycled shot of the kid being snatched up in the middle of the Wild West street again. So this is like the third or fourth time we see the same exact shot.
Yeah, it's the third time we've seen that kid hauled away by a cowboy. It's great. It's ridiculous. It's funny, though.
So Kube punches the grill of the bus and recoils his hand in pain and says, ouchie.
Yeah, I love that read, too. It's ouchie.
Yemano is encouraged by this. He says, when you fall, try not to kick up a lot of dust. New suit. So he rears back his fist to deliver the decisive blow, but he pauses as we hear a loud creaking. Suddenly, the bus behind Kubiac collapses into a heap of junk. Kube looks back stunned. So does everyone.
Yeah.
Realizing what happened, Kubiac looks back to Yemano and just smiles. Yemano straightens his tie and says, that was a bus. He killed a bus.
He killed a bus.
Killed a bus. He then clears his throat, grabs his hat, coat, and briefcase, and hauls ass out of there while some old-timey music plays. I think they speed up the footage, too.
Yeah.
Kind of Keystone Cop style or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, Yemano hails an antique taxi cab and hops in. I don't know. It was an interesting choice. It's like a cab from like the 50s or some shit.
Yeah.
But the cabbie asks, where to? And Yemano says, Beverly Hills 90210. With any luck, I can take one of the cute guys.
That's funny. Yeah, you mentioned that cab. Like, the way that is shot gave me the impression that it was a stunt casting situation, and I was like, I wonder if that's somebody, and I just don't know who that is, the guy playing the cabbie. So I looked him up, and his name is Alberto Martin, and he has exactly one credit on IMDb, and it's this. So it was not a stunt cast.
It was not a stunt cast. Okay.
Maybe it was a friend or something. I don't know, but I was like, oh shit, I've got more IMDb credits than this guy.
Oh, it's funny.
I've got like 3. It's like nothing, but yeah. So. Yeah,
that's funny.
The opposite of stunt casting.
Yeah. He was just standing in the crowd like, we need a cabbie. Hey, can you drive?
Yeah. Let me look at your hands. You want to play Omar too?
Yeah. Here, hold this basketball.
Can you palm this basketball?
Oh man. So anyways, as the cab takes off, we find Miss Musso climbing into her new Mercedes and pulling away past Kubiac.
This might be like my favorite Musso line read of the episode, because when she pulls away, she's all like, how do I look?
Yeah, it's true.
It sounds so
great
fucking
read.
funny.
It's a great line.
It sounds so goddamn funny the way she says it.
How do I look?
Oh, man. It's just great.
was a good catch.
Especially considering what happens next. She's so happy in that moment.
She is so, she's so giddy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but she pulls away past Kubiac, and we find Eileen coming up to Kubiac, and she embraces him. And the buds approach. Larry thanks them for rigging the bus to fall apart, but Mikey then informs him they didn't rig the bus. Suddenly, we hear a massive jangle of metal crashing to the ground, and we pan over to find Miss Musso in a completely collapsed Mercedes.
Yeah.
She is furious, and she screams, "Omar!" And then she bites down on the now detached steering wheel.
Yeah.
She's still holding the steering wheel, and it's completely detached from the car, and she just bites into it.
Yeah, the whole thing is such a slapstick moment, because her car just completely collapsed around her. Like they rigged it to fall completely apart.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Yeah, and then you're right. She bites on the steering wheel, which is funny too. But...
She's so furious.
Yep.
At this point, we get another time lapse of clouds and flowers, but this time the flowers are blooming, not wilting. The buds then remark on how everything is suddenly coolness on campus. And in VO, Parker says,
Once upon a time, there was a giant who ruled over a kingdom called Santo Domingo. He was a kind and fair ruler who found within himself the courage to face his fear and conquer evil, so that peace could once again bloom throughout the land.
During this VO, we get a shot of a cape-clad Kubiac standing heroically atop the school while the students look up at him. We then get a reverse shot looking down on the students who are standing in the shape of a peace symbol. We cross-dissolve this shot to a fairy tale book illustration where the peace symbol is now composed of flowers. We pull back to see the words "The End" underneath, and Parker closes the book of Flamingo Tales. For the end gag, we see everyone gathered around that long table in the dusty old library. Mikey begs Park to read them another. Parker agrees and cracks open the book and begins. Once upon a time, there lived a talented family called the Wayans, who had their own TV show that won many Emmys. Wayans throughout the land knew they could get a job on this show. And we cut to credits.
Yeah, it's a funny gag.
It's a great gag.
I did like the shot of the entire cast sitting at the table begging Parker to read another story. And it wasn't just Mikey and Jerry. It was like
everybody.
Kubiac. Miss Musso's there.
Yes.
They're all just sitting there begging him to read him another story.
And there's a bowl of fruit on the table, too. I didn't make any of that. But big-ass bowl of fruit.
Yep. Gotta be some fruit there.
Yep.
What have you got to say for yourselves?
So what were your thoughts on this episode?
It was a fun one. It's ridiculous, which is what we want. And you're right, it's the first time there was kind of a theme episode or a whatever.
Yeah.
A gimmick episode. But I think it worked, and it's, it was interesting that to have Yemano as the antagonist to Kube, I mean,
right.
It's an interesting, I think it's interesting because, you would think it would be more like, I just forgot the name. You mentioned, you called him out earlier.
Luke McDonald?
Yeah, Luke McDonald from Teacher. You think more of like a big hulking guy to be the antagonist for somebody like Kube.
Yeah.
Whereas you got this kind of just little mafia dude, it's an interesting kind of twist on that whole thing. But overall, I mean, I found it all enjoyable. Like ripping the heart out of the stuffed whale. It's great. Fucking brutal, but fucking great. And then, my favorite gag is that pie chart of Miss Moon. It's always funny when you see stuff like that, like the art direction, stuff in the background that's like not really, they don't really call attention to, but it's just there as set dressing, and but it's got some funny shit on it, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's funny they keep hitting the same points with Miss Musso.
Yes.
Like, it's no surprise. None of the stuff on there is a surprise. The window glass thing is funny.
Yeah. I
like the idea that she has to pay for that herself of her own budget. That's stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't come out of the school budget. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you get 3 glass breaks and that's it. After that, you're buying your own. But yeah, and That's a pretty good B story. There's not a lot to it, but it's fun to see Melanie Chardoff get to do have an entire B story to herself.
Yeah.
To basically just be a total cartoon.
Yes.
And like I said, that line read at the end when she's driving off, it made me laugh out loud. It's so funny because she's so happy. And then her car immediately falls apart.
Oh, it's great.
So,
yeah.
The gimmick of the episode is it works, it works well with the, and it was nice to see Eileen come back too,
Yes.
I didn't realize she was in another episode, so
Mm-hmm.
she's not a big hulking giant in this one. She's just, Kube's girlfriend,
exactly,
so she's a lot more, she's got a lot more emotion, than in the previous one where she was basically just female Kube,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But overall, I liked it too. I thought it was enjoyable. It made me laugh a lot, so that was that's
kind of my it's like there was never any times when I'm like kind of just like okay, like it was like I was entertained the whole time, even multiple watches, definitely plenty of laughs. So really that's what you want from this show,
Yeah, and it was cool coming off on the heels of the previous episode, which is a little bit more like YA or whatever, like teen story, 90210
less
style
cartoony,
story.
Yeah.
Still a good episode, but a different vibe entirely, you know. So love a Kube episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if Don Yemano comes back either or not, but his performance is I liked it for how big it was, Both times he was on here, but I mean he provides a menacing antagonist in this episode in a way that was believable for a show like this,
Yes.
Even though he's like substantially shorter than Kube and most of the other people. I mean, he's obviously cast for that, but
I do like that. I do like the fact that in the end, when they were facing off, that he does go over to a fucking tree and fucking punches it and splits it. So it's like, oh shit, he's all right. It gives him some fucking
not all
clout.
talk.
It gives him, he's not all talk. It's like, oh, he's got some power. So I'm glad that they had that. It's a great visual gag too. Tree literally splitting in half.
Yeah.
I guess my only if I was to have a note or complaint would be there should have been something like that earlier in the episode to paint him as even more of a threat, but I think it still worked. But
it's funny too that he decided he just punched a fucking tree in half.
Yeah.
But then Kubiac punches a bus and it falls apart, and Don Yemano's like, well, I've got no chance now. I better get out of here. It's like, dude, you just punched a tree in half. You could get one good punch in and break Larry's leg in half, for God's sake. Just be the first one to throw a punch.
Yeah. You just gotta duck and then punch.
Use your size to your
weave.
advantage. Silly.
But, man, that's funny.
On the next Synchronize Swatches. Next time, we'll be talking about Tower of Power, Season 2, Episode 14. All right, let's read the little synopsis here on IMDb. Parker Lewis can overcome anything in high school until he encounters the wrath of the teacher from hell, Mr. Tower. Merciless Mr. Tower doesn't tolerate insubordination in his students, and his students fear him. Parker finds himself stretched thin as he's occupied by Mr. Tower, Annie, and his friends. Now that Parker is forced to study more than ever before, he finds an unusual ally, Frank Lemmer. Thank God. Frank and Parker must band together to pass the class. That was not bad.
Yeah. You've been listening to Synchronize Swatches, your twice-monthly dose of coolness.
But wait, if listening isn't enough for you and you'd like to see our ugly mugs, not a problem.
Head on over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel at Synchronize Swatches. There you will find all of our mainline episodes, as well as some of our bonus content. Well, all of our bonus content.
All of it. Yeah.
Also, you can now stream full episodes of Parker Lewis Can't Lose on Plex.tv.
We're also on social media. Search for our handle @SwatchesPod on Instagram and TikTok and hit that follow button. We welcome your comments, questions, critiques, all forms of correspondence over at our email address, swatchespod@gmail.com.
While you're at it, why not cruise over to your podcast app of choice and leave us a 5-star rating and a positive review. It really makes a difference in getting the word out about what we're doing here.
I think we've got 5-star ratings on Apple Podcasts or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. setting up all those accounts, all those dummy accounts, and giving 5-star ratings really paid off. Our theme music was written and produced by My Sinister Hand.
The show is recorded on the west and east coast of the United States. It is written by the host with post-production by Chip Johnson. Chris Gregory manages our social media empire. Special thanks to Paul Coates for all of his German title insights and Allison Doster for our new custom logo design. You can see more of her work over at Instagram, where she uses the handle Bunny Soul Art, BUNISOULART, Bunny Soul Art.
Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, I'm Chris Gregory.
And I'm Chip Johnson.
Reminding you that empathy is more rebellious than a middle finger.
Hell yeah.
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 My friend Jerry said you guys were going to do something really neat today. Really neat.